In the 90s, Prodigy was one of the biggest names in hip-hop. He was one half of the rap duo known as Mobb Deep. Prodigy managed to gain himself a reputation as one of hip-hop's sharpest lyricists before his untimely passing. One of his most infamous lyrics were forever solidified when Jay-Z sampled them on his song The Evils, Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body, secret societies, trying to keep an eye on me. In 2017, Prodigy was only 42 years old when he mysteriously passed away. Interestingly, before he passed away, he was working on a project that was set to expose the sinister truth about the music industry. Since his passing, people have been left with the question, was his quest to expose the truth what led to his questionable demise? Did Prodigy really just pass away? Or was he eliminated for saying too much? Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome to The Truth Is, where I post new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about what really happened to Prodigy. But before we begin, I just wanted to ask you guys to subscribe to my second channel, Truth Network. We got new videos dropping from the Truth Is team that you won't want to miss. Head over to Truth Network now and subscribe. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. In the 90s, Prodigy was on top of the world after Mobb Deep's second studio album, The Infamous, was a massive hit. With records like The Survival of the Fittest and Shook Ones Part 2, Mobb Deep became a massive success. They would go on to drop several successful projects throughout the 90s and early 2000s until Prodigy ended up getting arrested for weapons charges. Prodigy would eventually spend 3 years in prison, and when he came out, he had a completely different perspective on life than before. Before Prodigy went into prison, he was your average street rapper from the 90s. His songs promoted the criminal lifestyle, selling poison to your community and encouraging violence through the lyrics. Prodigy was just like every other rapper being used to push the agenda to the urban community. Looking into Prodigy's backstory, it becomes obvious that he was just another Masonic puppet like all the rest. He sold out for millions and was used to push the Masonic agenda. Prodigy was born to two parents who were active in the music industry. His grandfather, Bud Johnson, was a famous saxophonist who was inducted in the Jazz Hall of Fame back in the 90s. His mother, Fatima Francis, was a part of the Crystals, a singing group who saw mainstream success in the 1960s. His father, Bud Johnson Jr., was a part of the doo-wop group called The Chanters.
I wrote a book was because I got a lot of family history that is deep that people didn't know about. My family is in the dance world. My grandmother, Bernice Johnson, she's real big in the dance world with choreography. She started a lot of choreographers' careers. And my grandfather was a major jazz musician. My name was Bud Johnson. He's in the Jazz Hall of Fame, the Big Band Hall of Fame. Just this type of information I want out there, not only just because, I want to preserve Bernie's legacy, and let the people know and come from and let them understand my background and my a little more.
His family was already heavily integrated into the music industry since his birth. His grandfather was a literal jazz legend. And for those that don't know, jazz is deeply connected to the occult and masonry. Just about all the jazz legends were Freemasons, and even this Guardian article confirms it. I believe a video on jazz's connection to Freemason would be an interesting one. If you want to see a full breakdown on its connection, comment jazz below. Prodigy was definitely a Freemason puppet like the rest, and it's the reason his song was pushing the agenda. His lyrics, Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body, intrigued all who heard it. But many asked, what was Prodigy really trying to say with these lyrics? Well, when Prodigy got locked up, he let us know exactly what he meant. While Prodigy was locked up in the late 2000s, for whatever reason, he had a change of heart and decided that he wanted to expose the Masonic agenda and go against it. From prison, Prodigy was writing letters, and one letter that he wrote was this one here dedicated to Jay-Z and his connections to the Masonic order. For whatever reason, even though Prodigy himself was a puppet pushing the agenda through his music, he called out Jay-Z for doing the same. In the letter, Prodigy wrote, Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate world. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community in the world and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead. I am revealing some astonishing information if people would just do some research. Prodigy, Dr. York, and Africa Bombada are the truth. Jay-Z is a lie. I have so much fire in my heart that I will relentlessly attack the Illuminati and every other evil that exists until my lights are put out. Which is damn near impossible because my power in the streets is incredible. I fear nothing and no one. I'm fearless because the truth has set me free from the Illuminati's mental enslavement. I have been empowered by God and the universe. This letter that Prodigy wrote contained a lot of truth in it. Prodigy declared that the elite who controlled the music industry were using the artists to push the Masonic agenda. He called it the lifestyle of the beast, and he said this because he knows the Masons are followers of Baphomet. Prodigy also basically confirmed that outside forces were using hip-hop as a tool of destruction. I will say one thing that Prodigy was completely wrong about was calling Africa Bombada the truth. Africa Bombada is a monster and an alleged P-word. Many victims have come out and exposed Africa Bombada for what he did to them as kids. Also, Prodigy called Dr. York the truth as well, who was another person arrested for being a P-word. This made me feel conflicted about Prodigy as to why would he call these disturbing people the truth. Africa Bombada was a straight-up occultist. He dressed up like Aleister Crowley and performed his disturbing rituals in the music industry. Crowley literally taught about using young innocent boys for his rituals, and that's exactly what Africa Bombada was called doing. People just don't understand how deep the occult goes when it comes to hip-hop. Africa Bombada is considered one of the fathers of hip-hop, meaning he was one of the originators. He is the reason hip-hop is so heavily rooted in the occult. This to me made me second guess Prodigy. While he was talking truth and really called out Jay-Z before anyone else did, I can't get behind statements like those. Was Prodigy just misinformed, or was he just controlled opposition pushing a message of confusion?
When I laid down to go to sleep, all the lights was off in my room, and I'm laying there, and I seen a black shadow walk across my room. And it looked like, only thing I could describe what it looked like the black Spider-Man. Just laid there, and I put the sheet over my head, like a little kid, just like forced myself to go to sleep. And I woke up the next morning, the pain woke me up. I haven't been sick in 6 years. And I was in so much pain, I had to carry it to the hospital. I knew what happened automatically. I already knew what it was. I already knew what that black shadow was.
Even though he himself seemed to be a Masonic puppet, he appeared to have turned his back on the order. Like he said, he was willing to fight to the very end, or like he called it, until they turned his lights out. At that moment, Prodigy didn't realize that he had sealed his fate. Jay-Z was the elite's chosen one, the grand master of the hip-hop Masonic industry. Prodigy had just made him his enemy by exposing him to the world. The whole hip-hop industry feared Jay-Z because of his power. Prodigy took it upon himself to expose Jay, and soon, it would cost him everything. On March 7, 2011, Prodigy was released from prison. He still seemed committed to exposing the secret societies that controlled the world, and he dedicated the next few years of his life to doing that.
And other things, and I came out, with the intentions and with the plan on, giving back and doing the right thing, and coming out and talking to kids and talking to parents, talking to people, just humans about, just doing the right things in life. No matter what it is, doing the right things, man, being a good person, making the right choices in life. So I don't have to risk going to jail, man. Growing up where I came from, man, where most of us all come from the hood that's in here, it's real hard to do the right thing sometimes because you get a lot of peer pressure from your friends. You see how fast people money real quick, you want nice things, you want this, that, and the third. And it's real easy to commit a crime and do something and get it. But you got to change that, or else we can't complain about, the hood is like this and everything is messed up. We got to change our choices that we're making out here, And it starts with yourself, So I'm speaking for myself, some changes that I made within myself, And I'll come out and just share my changes with everybody else. So you can apply it to your life or pass it on to somebody else,
One of the first things Prodigy did when he got out of prison was do an interview with Alex Jones in which he further exposes the music industry.
It's definitely not a joke, man. There's a lot of real stuff going on out here in this world. Secret societies are real. It's definitely very obvious, that they're at work and it's at play in the music industry, in the food industry, politics. Everywhere you turn is everywhere. You just got to read the signs. You know what I mean? The writing on the wall, basically, is all in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? Once people just learn about it and do a little research about it all, they'll be able to see like, oh wow, I understand what's going on. You know what I mean? I wrote a lot of letters while I was in there, man. I was doing this thing for Vibe magazine, just writing letters from prison, just expressing myself and things I wanted to get off my chest, things that were on my mind, and I wanted to let people know. And I wanted to show them, even though I was inside, locked in a prison, I wanted to show them that I still had no fear in my heart, about speaking my mind and letting people know what time it is. There's no reason for me to fear because it's really nothing. There's nothing they can do aside, and I'm not afraid of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think right now they're at the point where they would take it that far. I think they this plan that they got into effect, and it's been in effect for hundreds of years or whatever. I think it's so embedded in people's brains now. They got people so brainwashed in this world that they don't even really care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, go ahead and tell the people all you want. We got these people so brainwashed, there's nothing you guys can do about it. That's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And when I say they, I mean, the powers and the structures that's in place, that's there to control us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, I always say, like, God always wins at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Good always going to beat evil at the end of the day, man. No matter how bad it's looking, you know what I mean? No matter what's going on, you know what I mean? Good is always going to win. You know what I mean? But right now, you know what I mean? The devil definitely got the world in the headlock. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. And it's at the point where they got it so far. Like I said, they don't even care. They put it all in our face. You know what I mean? It's an information age. It's everywhere. It's all over the internet. What's going on? You know, it's all in these books. It's in movies. It's in, you know, it's all over the place. And they got people so brainwashed. You know what I mean? With all the you know, fashion and, you know, jewelry, especially like in the hip hop world. You know, in the hip hop community, in the urban communities where I come from. You know what I mean? They got us so.
As you heard for yourself, Prodigy once again makes it clear that the Freemasons are not only controlling the music industry, but also Hollywood, sports, and even politics. He also stated that sadly, the elite have people so brainwashed that they don't even know what's going on. He knew the music had people brainwashed to only care about things that don't really matter, like cars, clothes, and substances. He knew what hip-hop was doing to the urban community, and he tried to expose it. Prodigy at one point was a part of the problem, making music promoting destruction. But he came to a realization, and now he wanted to be a part of the solution by waking people up. Sadly, Prodigy was right. Most people are too brainwashed and will never wake up no matter what we do. The devil has the world right where he wants them, blinded and lost, chasing the wrong things. Prodigy wanted to wake people up, but things didn't go as planned for him. Not long after Prodigy showed up to do the interview with Alex Jones, he was labeled a conspiracy theorist. All of the Masonic ran media started calling Prodigy a conspiracy theorist and a crazy person. The elite's favorite cover-up method is to call whoever exposes any truth a conspiracy theorist, even if they have first-hand knowledge of what they're exposing. Prodigy knew Jay-Z was a puppet pushing the agenda through his music because he himself had done the same. It didn't matter that he had first-hand experience. Whatever he told people was just looked at as nonsense, and he was seen as a nut job. The industry then shunned him, and he ended up blackballed. Prodigy started to feel the pressure, and this is when he started pulling back on his statements. Just 2 years after he called Jay-Z a Masonic puppet, he denied the Masons had control of the music industry. Prodigy went on Sway in the Morning and denied the Illuminati had anything to do with hip-hop, even though he had said otherwise before.
You know, let me ask you this, P, because a lot of artists are affiliate or assumed to be a part of this secret society, the Illuminati, and they think it exists in the music. People think it exists in the music business, and that urban artists actually are able to participate in society. Have you experienced anything that leads you to believe there is a secret society, that some artists are privy to a certain access that others aren't?
Nah, I don't believe that.
You know,
nah, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
Nah.
Secret societies are real. You know, it's definitely very obvious. You know that they're at work and it's at play in the music industry.
I don't believe that. I believe that there's definitely secret society. You know what I mean? I believe definitely maybe some of these label heads, like major labels and like major corporate companies, might have something to do with it, and they, you know, might be involved with the agenda. You know what I mean? But as far as like the rappers, like, you know, certain R&B artists or whatever, nah.
You don't believe that?
Nah.
Now, there are people who will argue and say that rap, and I've had this debate too. Now, man, I actually had this, you know, I teed the defense on how good is rap for the society, because when you look at the majority of things that's on radio, the messaging that it pushes can be considered derogatory. A lot of people use excuse, man, you know, I'm just painting a picture, or that doesn't mean you have to do what it says. But doesn't, I mean, isn't it influential? Like, does it impact?
Yeah, I mean, words is powerful, man. Like a double-edged sword, man. You gotta, you know, you gotta be careful with the message that you put out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make sure you're saying the right thing, man.
You know, you gotta be careful with the message that you put out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make sure you're saying the right thing, man.
As you heard for yourself, Prodigy denied that the industry is controlled by the Freemasons. He completely did a 180 and was now acting like he never even said any of those things. While he did admit the Illuminati is real, he denied it being a part of hip-hop. This is interesting, but it's obvious why he did this. The fact that he was even allowed on Sway in the Morning lets you know he is a puppet. Prodigy had decided to back down from his fight as he saw that they were destroying his career and his reputation. The industry and the media were clowning him and made him look crazy, and he didn't like that. So he surrendered, and they brought him on Sway in the Morning to declare his defeat. They wanted him to deny what he previously stood on, and he did. It was obvious that Prodigy didn't want to bring up Jay's name, as he was most likely afraid of what would happen to him. He also went on This Is 50 and said the same thing during an interview, calling the Illuminati a myth.
Illuminati, people talk about that all the time, but does that really exist?
Yeah, Illuminati, that's definitely a myth, you know what I'm saying, that really can't be proven, you know what I'm saying, but this
Even though he was exposing them just 2 years back, he was now singing a completely different tune. Prodigy had folded to the pressure, and I believe this is what kept him alive for the next few years. He left the Masons alone for a few years until he tried to find a new way to expose the truth. In 2017, Prodigy was working on an Illuminati play that was supposed to expose their involvement in hip-hop. He was originally working on doing the Illuminati play with a woman named Cynthia Von Buller. Cynthia is an artist who is known for hosting a yearly event called the Illuminati Ball.
Where are we right now, man? Can you tell us where we're at? Can we stay?
We actually at home, a friend of mine, Cynthia. She does these immersive plays. I'm actually a part of one of them, and we're working on another one. But the original one that we work on is called the Illuminati Ball, and we actually do it here in the house.
So we're in the Illuminati house.
Basically.
For whatever reason, Prodigy linked up with her to create the play. Prodigy would not end up doing the play with Cynthia, but it wasn't revealed why. Instead, he decided that he was going to do it on his own. While he was working on the play, he started getting sick due to his sickle cell condition and was forced to stay at the hospital for some time. While at the hospital is when things took a very strange turn. While Prodigy was at the hospital, he mysteriously passed away, but it wasn't because of his medical condition. According to the coroner's report, he passed away after he choked on an egg while staying in a literal hospital. The elite weren't trying to cover this up at all. I believe they were using Prodigy to set as an example for others that try to expose the truth. There is no way they want people to believe Prodigy choked on an egg while he was in the hospital. A place full of doctors and nurses who would know exactly how to deal with a situation like that and keep that man alive. How did they let him choke on an egg? It couldn't be more obvious that this wasn't the case and he was actually taken out. Considering the fact that his passing happened right as he was working on this play that would expose the industry, it can't be a coincidence. I believe they took Prodigy out and shut him up for good. Whatever he was going to expose, they didn't want out there. The day he exposed Jay-Z is the day he unfortunately sealed his fate. I do not think it's a coincidence that he was taken out exactly 6 years after he got out of prison. We know just how much they love the number 6. The fact that he wanted to remain on the music industry's good side is what destroyed them in the end. He tried to play both sides, as a man for the people and a puppet for the elite. Once the puppet masters felt it was time to shut him up for good, they did.
What is the Illuminati? Like, if you could break down what it is that we're actually talking about when we say Illuminati.
It's a group that was formed like in the 1700s, something like that, 1600s. This dude named Adam Weishaupt. He started this group of people, like powerful, rich people that basically could shape popular opinion and the way, the world is gonna move forward. The word means like the illuminated ones. Light is like information, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you see the light now.
Never to reveal our secrets, under no less a penalty than my throat, my tongue be torn out by its root, and that I be buried in sand, a cable's length from shore.
Let the brother receive the light.
I found out the origin of the information that they were teaching. It basically comes from this group called the Essenes in Egypt. These are like the original black culture. They're like the scholars, doctors, scientists, esoteric thinkers, and they just knew how to do stuff. Like, for example, look at the pyramids. Nobody understands how the pyramids were built. These are the people that had that knowledge.
Sadly, while Prodigy was a puppet, he did expose very important truths that cost him his life. Most people are too blind, and no matter what we do, we will never be able to wake them up. No matter how much proof we provide, no matter how many people come out and confirm it, the masses will always think it's a conspiracy theory because they are too far gone. While I know this is the case, I still won't give up as I believe it's worth fighting for my people. I will try my best to ensure my people don't perish due to a lack of knowledge. No matter what, the truth will always be the truth. Well, that's it for this video. But before you guys go, make sure you like and comment so that this video can get recommended to others. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.